With a new companion by our side, we continue on our ambitious journey through Calradia. Most of our time is spent hunting down the roving bands of looters that infest the realm. Coin clipping. Shortly after the loot is distributed, you come across several of your men rubbing the edges of the coins that you paid them against a rock. You recognize what they're doing. Clipping, or shaving off a bit of a silver to melt down to the hope that no one will notice. Demand that your man stop, and inform any merchants in the next town that they should look carefully at whatever coins your men give them. While the rest is spent looking for ways to render aid to the notables of settlements and continuing to chase after tournaments, we can get a helmet. With mixed results. Ow. We do owe the Battanians in the previous video for helping us out, so we try getting in their good graces by helping out some of their nobles. Hey, do you have a task for me? I have a problem. My young kinsman, Patron. Who? I haven't met him yet. Has gone to town to have fun, drinking, wenching, and gambling. Many young men do that, but it seems he was a bit reckless. Now he sends news that he owes a large sum of money to Briaden Mutton Pie, one of the local gang bosses, in the city of Bannerlord. These ruffians are holding him as a guest in their house until someone pays his debt. What are you planning to do? I'm not inclined to pay the debt. I'm not going to reward this kind of lawlessness, even when the best families aren't safe. I've sent word to the Lord of Bannerlord, but I can't expect to hear back, what with the wars and all. I want someone to go there and free the lad. You could pay, I suppose, but I prefer it if you taught those bastards a lesson. I'll pay you either way, but you obviously get to keep more if you use force. I could go myself or send a companion. I don't care how you solve it. Just solve it any way you like. I reckon two led by someone who knows how to handle thugs could solve this in about 8 days. I send my own men, but it could cause complications for us to marching and wearing our clan colors in another lord's territory. I'll offer your kinsman myself. Good, even better. You can find a house easily when you go to Bannerlord and walk around the town square. Or you could just speak to the gang leader, Briaden Mutton Pie, make him understand and get my boy released. Good luck. I await good news. On the way to Bannerlord, we head to yet another tournament in Lagetta. And after some lance couching, stun kicking, double teaming, and gambling, we win the tournament and win a sword for our troubles. Yeah, victory! Neat. Ooh, we actually reached Clan 1. Actually, we reached it a while ago. Tutorial. Assign roles. You can assign roles to your clan members in your party. They'll get bonuses according to their skills and perks. You can start the assignment process through the highlighted area. So quartermasters can increase party size. Scouts can, well, scout. Surgeons. Casualty survival chance and healing rate. And engineers do engineer things. Nothing I wouldn't need right now. And I think actually keeping myself as a roles will help me get more XP. And apparently before we knew it, we were already clan tier 1. Now the only requirement left for establishing our own clan was capital. We need more money. Thankfully, we had a lot of tradable goods from the looters and bandits we've been pacifying. We just needed to find a market where we could sell them at a profit. There are other ways to earn small change as well, such as gambling and a minigame. If we can just find a guy. Oh, actually, speaking of finding guys. Tavern Keeper, I need information. I'm looking to hire someone with specific skills. I am planning to sponsor my own caravans, and someone who could run them would be perfect. Mata the Spice Vendor in Dunglanis. Yeah, that's on the way. Thank you for this information. Anyway, money. I was trying to earn it. There you are. Game host. What exactly is Bokchal? A couple of powerful wolves against a flock of helpless sheep. Bokchal is a game of uneven odds and seemingly all-powerful adversaries. But through strategy and sacrifice, even the sheep can dominate the wolves. Sounds fun. Can I bet? Fortunately, I only allow betting when I'm playing at my best. You have to up the difficulty. Sure, I'll play the hardest level. I'll be the sheep. It's just like playing Go. You trap your opponents. That is not how you play Go. Setup. Bogshell is a game of sheep white versus wolves black. The wolves have 4 pawns that sit on the 4 corners of the board. Every turn, 1 sheep is placed on the board, and 1 wolf makes a move or a capture until all sheep have been placed on the board. After all sheep have been placed, the sheep can now move on the board. Wolf and sheep move in the same way by sliding on the lines on the board, 1 tile per turn. Only wolves can capture by jumping over a sheep to an available tile behind it. Capturing also follows the lines on the board. Wolves win if they can remove 5 sheep from the board. The sheep win if they can block the wolves so they can't make any more moves. I want to try that again. To corral all the wolves into one area while leaving enough space for about extra sheep to be left behind. While also being careful to not leave any gaps for wolves to exploit. Okay, yeah, we got this. Well, we can't make our money back, but we did at least win. We head to Dunglanis, acting on a tip from the Marinat's tavern keeper to look for Mata the spice vendor, and what do you know, there she is. Mata the spice vendor.
I don't think I know you. Peace to you, stranger.
Ooh, butter is worth a lot here. After listening to her story, we recruit her to our band, and after selling some butter to make profit, we provide Mata the spice vendor with the gold to pay her debts and officially welcome her into our warband. Going back to our previous obligations, on the way to Carbanset, we stop at Gaonat Nal, where one of its inhabitants requires some crude iron for their repairs. 6 loads of crude iron in 30 days. So let's go check out what this smithing business is all about. If we had some hardwood, sure. Smithy. This screen allows you to craft different weapons for yourself to fulfill orders or for local non-player characters. To do this, you must use raw or refined resources that you can either purchase or manufacture by smelting weapons you carry. You can change the type of weapon you are crafting through the highlighted button. Crafting orders. Notables in towns will post orders for new weapons. They'll have requirements for you to complete and they'll pay you for the ordered weapon. You can view these orders by clicking on the highlighted button at the top right. It looks like we'll need some materials before we can get to making some crude iron, but it's a rather simple task. But while we're here, we might as well talk to Breedan Mutton Pie to negotiate a release for his captive. Yes, you have something to say? I'm here for the boy, Bytron. You know who I mean. Yes, did you bring 1,696 dinar? That's what he owes, with an interest of course. It would be in your best interest to let this young nobleman go. Tell me how it's in my interest. If you let this boy go, his family will remember you did them a favor. It's a better deal for you than a fight you can't hope to win. Do skill checks. Yes, you might be correct. I can't do the same one. No, these nobles aren't like you and me. They kept their wealth by crushing people like you for generations. Don't mess with them. Ineffective. I don't think so. Look, it was a good try, but they're not gonna pay. Releasing the kid is the only move that makes sense. Ineffective. I don't think meh. You think ruling the streets of a city is easy? You underestimate us. Now about the money. I'll be back. Can I just beat him up? Oh, I can go to his house. It seems our personal skills need a bit more work, but thankfully there's more than one way to free a prisoner. We take a walk around the town center, ask our companions to locate the other companions walking around the town, locate Breedan's house, infiltrate Breedan's house, commit a home invasion, and free our target. Oh, okay then. Patron. Thank you, sir. Did Lord Prindle send you to rescue me? Yes, I'm here to take you back. Thank you, but there's no need. Once we are out of here, I can manage to return on my own. Appreciate your efforts. I'll tell everyone in my clan of your heroism. Safe travels, sir. Oh, that was easy. Meanwhile, back near Maranath, we finally are able to challenge this forest bandit hideout once again. And actually win this time. Just by the skin of our teeth.
Look at them run!
With the plunder from the bandit hideout and the quest completion, we can earn more than enough coin to establish our clan. Hey, established our clan, finished. We should go unload our loot and splurge on some fancy mounts or something. Oh, and pick up some iron ores for smithing some crude iron later. Anyway, let's go to the nearby town to celebrate. Drinks are on me.
Good to see you. Believe it or not, I mean that. I've been looking for you.
Radagos, you escaped. Where's my brother? What happened?
Calm down now. I'll tell you everything. We found your little brother and sister, but my former partner betrayed me. We came into his camp to negotiate the kid's release, and he seized us right then and there.
You haven't met him yet.
What scum, eh? Even in this profession, double-crossing your comrades is frowned upon. I escaped. One of his men, a little guiltier than the rest, cut my bonds when the others were sleeping. But I can't let a traitor live, so I decided to find you and offer you a deal. I know where he is now. If you agree, we can attack together and save your kin. But in return, I will have the pleasure of killing that bastard. So what do you say?
How can we possibly trust each other?
You can't trust me, but you need me. And I figure you have enough men that you could easily slit my throat pretty quickly if I lead you into a trap. And I don't need to trust you. You're my vehicle of revenge, not my partner.
I can live with that. Let's go.
Splendid. But I have a few things to do. There is a hideout near this city. He keeps your siblings there. I will join you right where the path leads up, just out of the sight of their scouts.
See you there then, but remember, if this is a trap or something, that will cost you your life.
Ah, of course. I have no doubts on that score.
Rescue your family. Radical said that he knows where your siblings are. He offered to attack together. He will wait for you at the hideout that he mentioned near Marlath. You can see the hideout marked on your map.
You've finally arrived! I have a few things to say before we attack. We have to be clever. He is a cunning fellow in a low and base kind of way.
I defeated you before. I know how your gang operates. Let's talk in more rating. Come on.
That you did. That you did. Lead on then.
You spy through the trees what seems to be a clearing in the forest but leave up. Is it because I cleared this camp recently that's not going to let me clear it again? For some time. While we wait on the hideout to be clearable again, we travel up north to do some quick smithing, buying some hardwood and heading to a nearby town, turn it into charcoal to refine our iron ore into crude iron, then redeem them to the nearby village for a nice profit. We also find another noble who has more information about the Battle of Pendrake, so we chase him down and get him to spill the beans.
I don't think I know you. Peace to you, stranger.
Can you tell me anything about the Battle of Pendrake? Ah, for any son of Britannia, there will be no prouder moment of his life than that day. Any true son of Britannia, anyway. Look, right before the battle, our High King Aeriel disappears, and his adopted son Caladoc becomes king. That sets tongues to wagging, you know? But let me tell you, old Aeriel could never in his life have won such a victory as he did Caladoc that day. We waited for them, like wolves in the wood, as their vanguard came up the winding road. They came without archers to protect them. Caladoc drew his own, and our bowmen fired on them from all sides. They turned their shields one way, and were hit from the other. A glorious thing to watch. When they were all good and addled like frightened sheep running this way and that, the rest of us warriors descended upon them with our foxes and swords. I cleaved this way and that. I took 12 heads, and mine was far from the greatest catch. Ah, the grandchildren tired of me telling this story. Well, thank you. And the base is Lanark Ken. What a coincidence. I need to defeat that base. Meanwhile, in Lanark Ken, they're having trouble with a bandit base that spawned in out of nowhere. Yep, it's the same base. Coincidentally, it's the same bandit base that our siblings are held in, but unfortunately we're still waiting for the cooldown to reset. Thanks, Bannerlord. Well, when we need to kill time, it's time to do more side quests, such as this artisan in Marnath that wants 9 cows for some reason. So it's off to Sturgio we go, as that appears to be the nearest cattle ranch. I guess the closest will be Ismakorg. On the way, the Northern Empire reached out to us with an offer to be a mercenary, but without remembering who the Northern Empire is actively fighting and the rescue of our siblings being higher priority, we declined the offer. Plus, the offer was insultingly low. On the way, we clear out another bandit hideout for more future recruits, though the boss seems to have forgotten he has more weapons other than javelins, but an easy duel for us. Oh, that was easy. Either way, we pick up the 9 heads of cattle as requested.
Peace to you.
Alright, I brought you your cows. Brought the 9 head of cattle as we agreed, which apparently counted as a crime. Oops. So grateful. You kept my workshop running and my family fed. Please take this money and some extra to cover your costs. Crime! This is your crime rating with the faction that owns the settlement. You gain a rating by robbing or attacking a kingdom's subjects. Praise with a rating of 30 or higher in a neutral kingdom will be barred from its settlements, while an independent player with a crime rating of 60 or higher will be attacked on sight. Crime rating will decay over time. You can get more details from the crime rating on the encyclopedia. I just wanted to help a guy out get some cows. Well, no matter. As the time is right, we wait until nightfall to sneak into the hideout. I'm gonna need to buy more horses to make myself faster. Or level up riding. Or both. Sneak in. I think I actually read in the beta notes that reaching the campfire undetected is going to give roguery XP whenever that gets implemented. But for now, since there's no such thing, I'm going to stab everyone. God damn it. Good enough. And then we failed because the bushwhacker turned around at the most inopportune time, so we'll have to try this again. Damn it. Why did I have to turn around at the last minute? This is becoming a trend at this point. Well, that was embarrassing. In the Tavern of Maranath, we find Sarah Linda Wainwright, who has the high stats in trading, stewardship, and most importantly, engineering, which you can't really level up easily until we start participating in sieges.
Well now, stranger.
Good engineer is always in demand. While waiting to meet High King Windsor, which was strange because Caladog starts as High King, and wouldn't you know it, Caladog is already dead. Huh. Neat. Either way, we pledge our swords to the Battanians. On one hand, we needed something to do nearby while waiting around for the assault the bandit hideout again, and secondly, we still owed the Battanians for freeing us when we were imprisoned by bandits before, and they offered higher rates in the Northern Empire. High Kingdom of Battanians, I welcome you. May you put your sword to good use against our enemies. You can count on me. As of now, your enemies are my enemies, and your honor is my honor. Raiding Village. Raiding villages will weaken the economy of the owner's faction, disrupting the flow of supplies between the village and its bound settlement. Also, the raiding party will get some resources from raiding. As a mercenary, we immediately start our career with raiding a hostile village, but our pillaging is cut short by an approaching Valandian army. Ooh, they took Aster Castle. Good for them. We retreat and join an ally, chase down a smaller Valandian party. Fall mid-battle. Ow! And watched as the rest of our army remains victorious. Looks like I lost 10 people in my party, which is unfortunate. No mood for mercy. It was a hard-fought battle, and among your fallen is a young, good-natured bushwhacker who kept his comrade's spirit up during hard times. Your men's faces are grim as they go out to collect the wounded of both sides. You can tell that, if they have their way, not many injured enemies will be brought back to your camp and are still alive as prisoners. Demand that your men respect the customs of war and tend to those who gave quarter. Increase reputation of a compassionate, honorable, munificent. Decrease morale by 50. Oh, that's a lot of morale loss. Leading bandit troops have gotten us more roguery experience, so we use that to take the Two-Face perk, which will remove the morale cost of recruiting bandit prisoners. And given how many bandits we've been encountering, that will save a lot of morale in the long run. Finally, we can tackle this hideout again. Given that the Battanians just raised an army and we like to join said army for loot and experience, or influence, we opt to assault the hideout this time, as we do not want to repeat of the failed stealth attempt. Everyone, charge!
Bastards! You're the kid of my captives, right? I saw Radagos with ya. You know he can't be trusted.
Coulter! Oh, he only has athletics as a notable skill. He led us here. Where are my brothers and my sister?
Nah, There's no more talking. Kill me or I'll kill you. That's how this ends. I'll do you the honor of dueling you, and my men will stand down if you win.
Very well, I'll duel you. Didn't even bring a shield to a sword fight. More prisoners.
Look, we can still talk. I'll give you a pouch of silver.
You said talking was a waste of time. You are Radagos's property now. Galter's execution by Radagos. Proceed! On the 21st day of winter, 1085, Galter was executed.
I knew you'd come. Great Evan. Damn, brother. Nothing can stop you. I love you, brother.
So glad to see you safe. Is everyone okay?
Yes, we are all fine. The little ones are scared, but fine. We need to be quick and get the hell out of this place. I'll take them to the nearest fortress immediately. They will be safe there. Meet me there later, when you're ready to tell me everything.
Okay, brother. Be careful. Take care. As you leave the hideout, Radagos comes to you and asks to talk.
Well, looks like we've gotten your kin back to you. So my end of our deal is complete. I'll be making myself scarce now. Don't let your conscience bother you about letting me go, by the way. I won't get back into slaving. Burned too many bridges with my old colleagues, you might say. I'll find some other way to earn my keep. Mercenary work, perhaps. Anyway, maybe our paths will cross again.
Maybe. Goodbye, Radagos. I'll consider you helping me rescue my family make up for being responsible for my own killing my other members of family. That could be worded better. Rescue your family. Law complete. Varric has reached the age of 12. You're usually away from your estate, but when you're able to spend time with Varric, you encourage him to develop a sharp mind. One day the child asked you which of your skills was the most useful to you. You thought for a while and then answered... Steward probably helps a lot with everything. While spending time with the child, you notice that he shows real ability in scouting. And Alden has reached young adulthood. Eventually it was time for the child to travel far from home. You sent the young woman away as a noble's ward. Before Alden left, you asked the Lord to make sure that the young woman skirmishes from a distance. When she returns, Alda tells you the story of how she learned how victory is won. That event increased her skill in tactics. Having rescued our family and guiding them through another milestone in life, we return to our mercenary work and join up with the army besieging Dreamore Castle. What am I doing? Go on, fire that trebuchet already. Alright, fine, I'll use it. lot of kills. Okay, I'm getting out of here. They're starting to aim for me specifically. Yep. Oh, of course my horse ran away. There we go, at least I got one kill in. Unfortunately, as we are a mere mercenary, we are not eligible to be given land. What we can do is earn more influence to receive more coin to fund our future ventures. The war rages on and we move on to a second siege target, the town of Pan-Cannock, which originally belonged to the Battanians. Unfortunately, the Western Empire also decides to declare war on Battania. Sieges are an integral part of warfare in Colradia, as they are the main way to conquer towns and castles. Order a battle. If you're not the encounter leader, order a battle screen will open in a limited state. This means that Lord Senior Teal will choose your formations first. You then assign yourself to a formation and will control that single formation. Try assigning yourself to an available formation. While the Battanians attempted to siege Pan-Cannock, the Vlandians successfully destroyed both siege engines and caused the army to retreat. And seeing as there was a large army waiting for us, we elected to tactically retreat and abandon the besieging army. We have an idea to start raiding the northern villages of Valandia, but we come across Melidir, another noble who can tell us more about the Battle of Pendraig.
I don't think I know you. Peace to you, stranger.
Hello, Melidir. Can you tell me anything about the Battle of Pendraig? Well, King Caladog's great victory. Who would dare say anything to tarnish its shine? King Aerol disappeared while hunting, and Caladog becomes king. He leads the tribes to war. Oh, we were eager enough, even though Aerol had made a truce with the Emperor, sealed by oaths. When we were dazzled with the prospect of vengeance, who cares about our sacred word and honor? The ambush, masterfully planned and executed, and none can deny. But I will also not deny that the Stygians fought the main body of the Imperial forces, and the Vlandians fought their famous cavalry, so I don't think the greatest glory went to the sons of Battania. At the end of the day, what have we gained? The Stygians hate us worse than ever, the Vlandians too. The Empire, I suppose, is shattered. What can I say? I believe that walls should have a goal, but I'm a minority, it seems, among our people. Well, thank you. Do you need help with anything? I've been on campaign for much of this year, and I've been able to go around to my estates collecting the rents that are owed to me and the taxes that are owed to the realm. I need some help collecting these revenues. Maybe I can help, whatever the terms of agreement. I can designate you as my official revenue farmer and give you a list of everyone's holdings and how much they owe. All you need to do is visit all my villages and collect what you can. I don't expect you to be able to get every dinar. Some of the people around here are generally hard up, but they'll try to get out of paying. Let's just keep it simple. I will take 1,877 dinars, and you can keep whatever else you can squeeze out of them. Are you interested? Alright, I will visit your villages and collect the rent. Excellent. You're acting in my name now. Try to be polite, but you have every right to use force if they don't cough up what's owed. Good luck. On top of learning more about the battle, we are given a job to essentially act as tax collectors, being allowed to keep any excess taxes collected, like revenue. The headman tells you that some households have suffered particularly hard this year from crop failures and bandit depredations. He asks you to forgive their back payments entirely. He hints that they are also so desperate they might resist by force. Agree to exempt the poor household. This is still a lot of gold. And in the middle of our collection quest, our younger sister Alda came of age. Ooh, Alda is now of age. We can also now recall our older brother to our party as well as alongside our sister, acting as free companions. Oh. It calls this member to your party. And Alda is also staying in Car Bandset. When you enter the village commons, you find a crowd of villagers that gather to resist you. They call the rents and taxes owed unlawful and refuse to pay them at all. They pelt your men with rotten vegetables. Bargain with the group, agreeing to forgive the debts of the poorest villagers. On the way to the third village, we accidentally run into the Wolfskins, a rather eccentric mercenary clan.
It is better we know each other's names, even if we fight.
Ran into some guys. I'm Boymon. Who are you? I am Null the Wolfskins. You are passing through our lands without permission. Perhaps you've heard of the Wolfskins, traveler. We are beasts. Know that so long as we eat no cooked meat, wear no woven cloth, and sleep under no roof, we cannot be touched by the laws of men. So tread carefully with us. So, in our lands, it's customary to pay us tax for our protection, unless you want to fight. Fine, I might be willing to pay for passage. We like to pay them off as we are slightly outnumbered and we have a history of dying horribly to archer-based enemies.
Peace to you.
The art of the trade. Do you have a problem? Yes, it's a good problem to have though. As you know, I deal in fur. Production this year has been very good and we can no longer make a profit on the local market. I cannot, however, put together a caravan to sell it elsewhere, so I propose a very simple deal. You sell me the goods at a discount? That could work if you have the money, but if you don't, I'm willing to take a chance on you. I reckon for 2 packs of fur, you can probably find a market nearby where buyers will pay you a total of 440. Here is my offer. I loan you the product, you sell it at whatever price you like, and bring me back 440 dinars. I have little doubt you could find a market where you could get a better price than this and make a profit. Seems like a simple errand. Would your offer still stand if I get someone else to do it for me? Not just anybody. If you have a companion that has your complete trust, then I'll agree. Just make sure he is well guarded. Goods attract bandits, and I'm sure you know. I suppose 3 well-armed men would be enough. Fear not, I will find the right market for your fur myself. Good. Needless to say, by not taking any money up front, I am trusting in your honesty and in your ability to protect those goods. But I'm sure that trust will not be misplaced. Do you want to buy the goods yourself? Or will I retain ownership and you just keep the extra profits? I am expecting to earn 440 dinars for 2 loads of produce. If you would like to buy it right away, you can simply sell it yourself or do whatever you wish with it. I'll buy the products from you for 440 dinars. This way we both will get what we desire. These quests are good as they'll give you lower items at much lower market price. Usually. Well, it's still... Oh, let's buy them anyway. We could probably sell it somewhere. Anyway, collect revenue. As your men were collecting the tags, the headman shouted out to you across the field that there had been an outbreak of the flux in the village. He warns you for your own good to stay away. Tell your men to be careful, and to touch nothing in a house where anyone has been sick. I guess we have to give these... You can either give them the Dars to the Lord yourself, or hand them to a steward of the Lord, which can be found in the castle that belong to the Lord. You finish up collecting the dues, and turn over the revenue to a steward in Carbanza. Hand over the revenue. Yeah, that reminds me. We got our sister and brother in our party now. Narrow sword, heavy round shield. Where did she even get these things? Nasal helmet with mail. How does she have these? Chainmail horse armor. Decorated cascara. What the heck was my sister up to when she was growing up? With the taxes collected and turned in, we returned to our task as a mercenary and set our sights on the Vlandian village nearby. A perfect target to raid. The villagers decide to fight back, but it's a simple work for our warband, which lets us continue to raid the settlement without further interruptions over the course of the next few days. Something to discuss with me? What we did to that village. I don't like it. Those farmers, they're a lot like my people. I want to know it won't happen again. Very well, I will consider this when taking such actions. Okay, so don't raid villages. Got it. Apparently, some of our companions did not approve of us raiding a village, even in times of war, but demanding goods and men should be fine, right? Oh, there's an army there. Third-party arbitration. Knowing your reputation as a trader, two merchants in Marnath are asking you to arbitrate a dispute between them. The two had drawn up a contract wherein each other had a half share in an incoming shipment of wine. When it arrived, however, the sea captain demanded twice the price. The wealthier of the two merchants was at the docks, he took the initiative and purchased the goods, deciding to take a loss for the sake of his reputation as a reliable supplier to the local taverns, but the second is poorer and wants out of the deal. The letter of the contract would favor the wealthier partner. Merchants should be careful of what they sign. Ooh, and we get an influence. Courier with a marriage offer between Nogand and Banu Killed has arrived. In the midst of chasing after a group of sea raiders, we get a marriage offer from the Banu Killed of the Aserai, proposing that our brother Nogand be wed to Manan, a daughter of Thais, the clan head. I mean, yeah, if they're offering. Given our position, we had no reason to decline and accepted the offer, which apparently also made us level up. I'll take it. Right, surrender, Sea Raiders. You are my prisoner now. We convinced the Sea Raiders to surrender and are caught by an Archon of the Western Empire.
Whom I slay.
Damn it. Stay a hand. Perhaps we don't have to come to blows. To pique my interest, what do you have to say? Your liege Garrus is not worthy of your loyalty. What are you saying exactly? My liege Windsor would welcome your support. Join us. I barely know you, and you're asking me to talk treason. You may know me as a man of honor. Damn. No. I'm not entirely comfortable discussing this with you. I gave an oath to my liege. Garrus is not known for keeping his word. Yes, might be correct. I've always stood by Garrus. Whether Garrus has stood by me or not is another question. We've been together at many wars, including many against your allies, the Battanians, I should add. He put your interest in good for the... Put your interest in the good of the realm first. There's too much at stake for that. I see. You're somewhat outnumbered. Even if I agree with you, it would be wise of me to wait. You're known for your valor. Fortune favors the bold. Together, we will win this war quickly. Made an accident, made a noise. You are known for your valor. Fortune favors the bold. Together, we will win this war quickly. Yes! Critical success! Well, can't argue with that. Very well, you convinced me this is something I can consider. This is a dangerous step, however, and I'm putting my life and the lives of my people at risk. I need some sort of support from you before I can change my allegiance. Oh no. Trading. Oh, that is not enough. Damn. I'm gonna have to come back with more money. And while we did manage to convince him that he should switch sides, we did not have enough incentive to finalize his decision. Out of options and not wanting to be caught again, we tend to flee from our enemy, losing some men in the process. Gonna have to make some sacrifices. Unfortunately, some of our companions did not like this. The way we ran back there shames me to think of it. Next time, let us fight and die rather than have the men call us cowards. So we make a note to refrain from doing so in the future. Very well, I will consider this when taking such actions. As the war against Vlandia rages on, the Battanians sign a truce with the Western Empire. Means the Battanians decide to make peace. Hopefully that'll keep them alive for a little longer, and now that we've amassed a fair amount of funds, we look towards funding a caravan of our own. Well, there are many goods around the town that can bring good money if you trade them. Caravan you form will do this for you. You need to pay at least 15,000 dinars to hire caravan guards to form a caravan. You need one companion to lead the caravan. Is there a way to form a caravan that needs better troops? We could fund a normal caravan for 15,000 dinars, or we could go the extra mile and fund an armed caravan instead. We would just need a little more coin. So we join a nearby army in hopes of getting more loot to sell, but the army leader picks a bad fight with a clear numbers disadvantage and ends up defeated. We abandon the army we were just in and join it with a larger incoming army instead, who easily defeats the army we were just engaged with. There, this army does much better. Meanwhile, we move to another army to partake in the siege of Druimore Castle, again. And the Battanians once again make a questionable decision to only assault the walls with 2 siege weapons, when the defenders have a full array of catapults. This will not go well. Our siege tower is reduced to rubble almost instantly, and the army retreats due to all the catapult fire before the battering ram even reaches the gate. Right? Battering rams, go! What do you mean you're retreating? Well, they're retreating, I'm also going to retreat. As the army retreats, we have an opportunity to split from the rest of the besiegers and leave early.
Halt there! Who are you?
But the army of Vlandians waiting for us did not allow us to. They refused our offer of letting us go on our way, and overwhelmed with sheer numbers, we surrendered ourselves to Richelda. Great, now I have to surrender. Wonderful. After being held captive for 3 days, we make our escape. Unfortunately, as we escaped, we came across a second party of Vlandians who also refused to be bribed, so we had to surrender. Again. We escaped our captors again, and decided to build up our strength elsewhere. Even though the Battanians helped us out early, they failed to protect their own lands, much less us, and it was clear to everyone that Battania would soon fall. So we did the only sensible thing a mercenary would do, and get the heck out of here.
Yours is not a face I know. What is your name, stranger?
We recall our family and companions to our party and become acquainted with Ingolthur, who can tell us more about the Battle of Pendraic. I was there. Was just a young squire then. I have heard no sweeter music than the thunder of our hooves as we bore down on the Aserai rabble. We fell on them like falcon plunges upon a rabbit. They had overextended themselves, chasing the Imperial archers. Lightfoot before our knights, there was no contest. Let me tell you something. 9/10 of victory is recognizing when your enemy has made a mistake. The rash perished as swiftly as the weak, and deserve it just as much. We shouldn't have gone on to seize all of Western Empire if Dertat had any manhood. We'd have done so. If Dertat had any manhood, we'd have done so. But his heart was never in the war. He believed he'd broken his oath to the Empire by helping the Sturgians and had gnawed at him. He'd have made a fine lackey. Instead, he's our king. And another player where we can
Stop
talk to.
there, stranger. I bid you peace. At least until I find out who you are, anyway.
More specifically, their king, King Dertert. You tell me anything about the Battle of Pendray. It was a victory, of a kind that is almost as bad as a defeat. We had given an oath to the Empire to join them if attacked. It seemed clear to me that we should have honored our oath, that the Battanians and Sturgians were aggressors, but there is always room to argue details. Unfortunately, our barons did not wish to fight with the Empire, so they resisted coming to its help. Neretzis, when he heard that we were hesitating, sent us a message calling us cowards and traitors. And you say that to a Vlandian noble at your peril. Neretzis should have known what he was doing. We joined the Sturgians. I did not fight in the battle. I stood on a hill telling my commanders where to go and who to attack. And we did rather well, I think you had. Still, we took losses, heavy losses, and gained little. And for this the barons blame me, even though it was their idea to fight. I learned that day that a king should always lead, never follow. But it was a bitter lesson. Having received more information, we take a short trek through Valandian lands to recruit more men. This will set us back from our previous goal of wanting to set up a caravan, but we can't earn money without men to do things.